We're making the stories from outside the loop matter to you. This is Localize It.
Don't you know I'm local?
You're in the loop on Houston's sports leader. Sports Radio 610.
Kelvin Sampson right now, best coach in town. It's not even close. You have two first-year guys in D'Amico Ryans and Ime Udoka, and then you have Joe Espada, another first-year guy. Kelvin Sampson has the largest body of work. Some would say he does more with less. And John Lopez is trying to run him out of town. I got to tell you, John, I don't even know why you're putting this out there. But John Calipari goes to Arkansas. And now John Lopez is pushing Kelvin Sampson to Kentucky.
Yeah, I didn't put it out there. Not putting it out there. Commenting on the situation. So I appreciate that. But anyway, Kelvin Sampson has to be either one or two on their list, right? I'm just saying what's going to happen.
I don't think so.
I'm not running him out of town.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't.
Okay, explain that first, and then I'll. I think it's Dan Hurley and Kelvin Sampson.
I think Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan is on the board, by the way. I found those odds. I'll share them with you here in a second.
Or Rick Pitino.
I saw that too. I don't know, man.
I would hire Chris Beard.
See, the problem with Chris Beard, I don't think that's a bad idea, but they went with Billy Gillespie, and that did not go well.
Yeah, but
he's got a lot of Billy Gillespie tendencies.
But he's already been hired, though. He won 20 games last year.
Yeah.
Once you've already got the guinea pig and they've already hired him, that's good. And he also has a body of work of working well with the NIL.
He does, but ask anybody at Kentucky how the Gillespie thing went.
Yeah.
Kind of a live wire tactician. I mean, kind of heavy-handed guy. Maybe he has a little bit of a drinking issue. Maybe. Just saying. Maybe. But he does. Here's the thing with Kelvin Sampson that, and again, not running him out of town, but if I'm a Kentucky fan, I'm thinking about this. They need a culture change. They're not the same Kentucky. I alluded to it in the first segment. They're 36th in NIL money. They're not what they think they are. I liken them to what Nebraska football was. Once upon a time, just an absolute juggernaut. The elite of the elite. Everybody wanted to be a part of it. That's kind of what Kentucky is now. Like, to be honest, there are a number of reasons why Kelvin Sampson shouldn't even consider it. Namely, Tillman Fertitta and the money that they have here. The program is top-notch. They're already established and all that. I'm talking about it from a Kentucky perspective. Like, you can say Dan Hurley, and good choice.
Is Kelvin Sampson made for this? Isn't he made for this U of H type of situation?
Yes.
Yeah, so why would he want to go to Kentucky?
Because that's what Kentucky needs. They need to take a step back and say, we're not royalty anymore. He can recruit at that level and also bring in something that Kentucky's never had. Like an actual X's and O's, disciplinarian, defense, different style, elite talent, all that. The only way it happens, and again, I don't think it will happen, but I think that's where Kentucky should be looking.
It's got to be pretty humbling if you're from Kentucky and you think you invented basketball, which
it's over.
Let's be honest.
It's
and
over.
Then your coach goes to Arkansas.
Yeah, they're not the same Kentucky.
By the way, who negotiated this Calipari contract?
Mm-hmm.
So he's allowed to talk to other teams as long as he tells you?
Yeah.
And he has a $35 million buyout?
Yeah.
What idiot from Kentucky
And they don't have to pay it now.
Yeah, they don't have to pay it now, which is good, which is probably why they said go ahead. But once he asks, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Hey, can I go talk to Arkansas? Well, yeah, we'll see you later.
And then he comes back. And then he comes back. All right, guys, let's get ready for the recruiting drill. Like once you ask, you're done.
Yeah. Other names on the list, I think it's Hurley and Sampson from a Kentucky.
Hurley ain't going.
I don't think so either. I don't think Sampson is, to be honest. Nate Oates has been mentioned.
He just got an extension with Bama.
Yeah, but everything's negotiable.
Yeah.
Patino has been mentioned.
I would do that.
Chris Beard has been mentioned.
I would do Patino. Bring him back.
Bruce Pearl.
How many SEC teams is this guy going to go to?
I know. Jay Wright.
He said he doesn't want to coach.
Here's an interesting one that has been mentioned. If I were a betting man, Scott Drew. Scott Drew. I think it's run its course.
You hate him.
I'm not a big fan of Scott Drew, but I'll respect him enough.
Oh, you're not a big fan?
That's another way of saying what you said. But I think it's run its course at Baylor, and he can recruit those guys at Kentucky. You know, he can get even more 5-star over 5-star over 5-star, and he's had success. And I think Baylor, like I said, it's kind of just run its course there. Scott Drew at Kentucky would probably be the if I had to bet.
No Kelvin Sampson. I don't even think he gets an interview.
I don't know about.
He already used him last year for the extension and extra money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think he gets an interview. He used the NBA to flirt. I don't think he's going to push it here.
The one interesting thing about Sampson in Kentucky, and again, let me just reiterate, I don't think he's going, but I think that's where they should target. He's very much into keeping the legacy for his son. Like, his son is going to.
Yeah, he's the coach in waiting.
His son is the coach in waiting. Kentucky would be very, very attractive.
So what does that mean
for him? Just because of the history and everything. Not to say that Houston doesn't have it, but not like that. So that might be something, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Scott Drew would be probably the best option.